Purge. So something quite cool has been revealed to us as well. And we have got some very fantastic explanations from Purge, but also I did just catch a tweet. I just explained to you guys. This is worth repeating, right? Nahaz has just opened it up on Twitter. He says, in 79 minutes, MNT, our MVP of this game, was the only hero not to do a single point of building damage. So not a single point until the final blow on the Dire Ancient.
Good stat.
That's pretty sweet.
That's a good
stat. Great stat.
Saving it until it matters.
Thanks, Nahaz.
Yes.
Nahaz.
And you know also how much hype is going on in the Greek booth. Winning or losing, there's smiles on their face and the decibel levels are probably pretty damn intense. Well, we actually have got a little quick interview with the admin who is forced and locked into the booth with the Greeks. So let's go ahead and have a quick chat with him before we get into the draft.
We have an exclusive interview here with the booth man. What is your name?
Alex.
No, just don't. Alex. No, don't tell them their real name. We don't want to know. You're the booth man. Okay. Don't ever say your real name, booth man. All right, I have some questions for you. First off, how much do you know about Dota? Do you know when Finem is going to go insane by watching?
I know, I feel them. There's a feeling in the booth. They're starting talking louder and louder and louder. And when they are really loud, they know they're going to win.
Okay. Are you ever feared for your safety in the booth? Things get intense in there when the game ends. They're jumping around.
Not quite. They are friendly. I'm the most fear thing. It's the computers are going to crash or go down, or the monitors or something like that. The booth.
Yes.
The theater.
The poor booth. How do you feel the booth and the computers? Are they okay?
I'm like, ooh. Then
Very good, very good. Are you Greek now? Have they converted you? Have you sucked in their energy now?
Not quite. I'm still Romanian, but I would love to visit Greece. I hope they win. They take me there, like a monument of me, like an Olympian god, something like that.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank
You're
you, guys.
welcome.
What an informative interview.
Love.
The Wang Theatre has been roaring, the signs have been made, and I think everyone here is just enjoying the Dota at this point in time. No one complaining that we're going to another game. OG versus Finem is about to continue. We are going to prepare ourselves for the draft. It does stand at 2-1. Whoever reaches 3 first is going to take home that $1 million prize and a huge amount of pride. Will OG seriously find the 3rd major title under that organization, or will Finem, the largest tournament that they have attended to date, and they could very well be in that grand finals. They could be lifting the Eagle Song Trophy. Well, we're about to find out. The draft certainly does start. And of course, my panel joining me, Fogged, Shiva, and Pyrian Flax. Let's start talking about how this one's going to go down. Let's just kind of calm ourselves down.
How?
Get the BPMs back down to where they belong.
Well, one thing that you mentioned about adrenaline.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that now that the break is like, what, 15 minutes? They're going in this better than what they did in the previous games? Purely because of adrenaline levels?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Okay. I'm not a doctor, Shiva. I know
I mean,
you may get that impression.
I thought you made a really good point. So it's like, okay, he knows more. Oh, it's Waldo.
Wow. I honestly think that that everybody wanted, even surely OG fans, were happy with a game of that quality. Everybody that picks a team and supports a team, first off, they're a Dota fan above all else. And everybody loves a game like that. I mean, that was just a classic.
Yeah.
What we would love now, and I know it sounds greedy, is for a Game 5. Because that, as a Game 5, can you imagine your heart if that was a Game 5?
At the moment, doesn't matter for me if it's Game 5 or not. I want another game like that.
Yeah.
Can we have that?
More, please, more.
Even if it's just a Game 4, you know, it's all I ask for. Just such a close game where you're on the edge of your seat. You don't know what's going to happen until the very last second, which was the case.
The thing is, if OG do close it out, that in itself is a great story. Like, if they're able to close this out, that's a hat-trick of majors for them. They were able to pull themselves back. A loss like that could be devastating. I mean, you could think, oh my God, we were so close.
Right, and that's the question. How exhausting is a close to 90-minute game of Dota? Like
Pretty knackering.
Like, Fogged, you sure you've been locked into a game, not necessarily of that much intensity with that much on the line, but surely when you sit there and you play a 90-minute game and then they say, hey guys, do that again.
Yeah, you got 15 minutes.
I've played boring 90-minute games. That for sure was not a boring 90-minute game.
But the amount of kind of ferocity there must have been going on in the communications, and the amount you put into that game, especially as an OG player, the amount you've put in, like, you see that the Ancient's about to fall, you see that you've managed to clear the creep, it's just all of that, and then you have to do it again.
You know what I'd like you to try when we're up here at the desk next time? If you watch the game in client, Alex, from players' perspective, the speed with which everything happens, with just they move their mouse, they're moving around the map, they're adjusting, they're checking. For 90 minutes, it's insane. That level of concentration is insane.
I struggle to concentrate.
The fortitude as well from them. They lost the first 2 games. They're able to come back in that type of fashion. It's more than impressive.
This tie is restraining
me. Let's
get
let's do
come on, guys.
Flipping
jackets.
ties.
Get these jackets out of here. Ties out of
some
here.
buttons.
That's better. Okay.
Oi, oi, oi.
All right.
I'll keep them.
I was going to say, I'm not going to take off
right.
any clothes.
Yeah,
Let's-
take it. It's all right, Chiefs. We'll take
take a
clothes
look.
off. It's fine.
Okay, so how do
Starting.
you recover? Is this you gotta reset again, right? You gotta begin with the 0 on the adrenaline. You gotta get into your thinking mindset without being super hyped, super adrenaline. You gotta bring your levels lower.
You got to bring them lower, but you should keep it pretty high anyway. They have to be feeling very hyped. It's a good thing to have
Wow.
that type of.
Look,
that
she's
type
got a
of fortitude
tattoo on
behind
her
you.
face, fogged.
Yeah, that's permanent.
That's a permanent tattoo.
That's right. There's a guy walking
I
around
hope
with a
so.
tattoo gun.
Oh,
Same
well,
approach though.
Same band.
At Finem should go for the same thing. We said that they were picking weaker lanes in the first 2 games, and that's what really struggled for them. This last game, they did lose the lanes, but they picked much heavier team fight, better scaling it into the late game too. They should take the same exact approach in going into this game, and we probably will see them do that just because of how that last game went.
How do you feel the difference
that
in terms
blood
of
on his
radiant?
finger?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been breaking his hand pretty much nonstop.
I think you forgot an N. Spartan.
This is Spartan.
And a couple S's
Yeah.
too.
And a couple of, but
So
that wouldn't sound
also-
right.
Identical bands, by the way.
Shadow Demon. No, the Shadow Demon gets
see
Oh,
banned
that
from
yeah,
Fuji
yeah,
this
you're
time.
right. Who did they ban last time? They
They been up around, they've been up the Bat Rider.
Bat Rider, yeah. But I've definitely seen these bands. I think earlier in this series, I'm pretty sure it was Whisper and Shadow.
I
Demon, maybe?
believe so, yes.
It was the first, yeah.
It was IO Bat for the first game, and it was IO Shadow Demon banned for the second game.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is the opener they used earlier.
Alright.
They bait out the Bat Rider and they go for the Rubik Nyx in their first 2. This time they take the Rubik.
Yeah.
OG goes for their signature Warlock.
And what's following it? What joins the Warlock?
It could be the Bat Rider, still.
It could still be the Bat Rider,
We saw the
but
support Bat Rider come out for them previously.
I've had to stand up because my leg's gone to sleep.
No,
That
me
is-
too.
I'm sitting on the chair. I'm
Stretch.
sorry.
Fine.
Stretching is
Also,
important.
damn it,
remember?
I'm standing for this.
Stretching
this
is
too
important.
big.
It's going to be
Legion
a,
Commander.
an
Okay,
early
that is a
LC.
very early Legion
That is-
Commander.
I'll crouch.
Interesting. Yeah, that's the Legion Commander. The last game had a massive impact on the game. Like, he had since it went like such a long game, he
Yeah.
had 250 damage bonus. So it's an infinite scaling hero, and they might be expecting something like that. No, it's a hero that's been gaining more popularity in this tournament. People used to look at it and just be like, losing commander. I even did not really like the hero at some points too, but it's growing on me. He has a very interesting tool set, and it doesn't really give the Rubik the greatest deals. With press the attack and overwhelming odds are pretty good, but duel is not really the greatest. I guess actually overwhelming odds and press the attack are pretty good, but
Deeps. Are we going to see a Slardar? That's a very well-drawn Slardar,
That is
by the way.
fantastic. That Slaughter drawing is better than the in-game Slaughter
I
model.
think so, too. I mean, look at it. He doesn't have an overbite in that one. So we're all good.
We did see a Slardar ban, didn't we?
Yeah, previous game,
I was
yes.
about to say yesterday. That's how long that game
Yesterday.
was. What?
Yesterday.
a year ago.
Okay, so are we going to see another Slardar? Is it
What?
worth
I'm
banning?
stretching my legs. Jeez.
I think they could ban the
Old.
Slardar, but they already revealed the Legion Commander, and I don't know how I feel about Slardar support with Warlock Legion Commander as well. It doesn't
Okay.
really sound the greatest
Okay.
for OG's side. And Ad Finem don't really play the hero too much, as far as I know. I don't think I've really seen them ever play. The Drow Ranger ban from OG makes sense because Ad Finem already started out with 2 ranged heroes in the beginning of the draft. They don't want to be pressured so highly because of that lane dominance, as we're mentioning. Ad Finem wanting to go for that, but already they have they're setting themselves up for a this gives you good amount of team fight between the Mirana and Rubik.
I don't understand half those
I don't
words that
understand any of this. Oh, he's going the wrong way. Machine, I like you too.
Oh.
Hey!
Ah, how are you doing? oh, hi.
Okay, so they banned out the Dragon Knight and the Timbersaw.
The
Yeah.
Timber ban is so legit. I mean, Ad Finem
Yep.
have already shown how
Yeah.
bloody good they are with that hero. So
Yeah, Midara played incredible on the Timbersaw in their previous series, and Ad Finem follows up with the Dragon Knight ban. Same kind of thing. It's a hero that helps you group up, and that's what OG really likes to do, and Anna's been playing it pretty consistently. And since they banned the Timbersaw, it may have been just an indicator that they wanted to go for that type of hero.
Sorry, you just heard me clearing my... I forgot to press the button.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
It's been a long series.
Yeah, it has.
But don't worry, we have more Dota for you.
Marana Rubik. So you've always framed this Marana Rubik as you know, the mystery. You pick them and no one knows what's happening.
Yeah, the Rubik is, he's a support. That's very obvious. Actually, not always. We have seen a couple mid Rubiks, but I don't think Finem is the team to really go toward that round. And I mean, with a guy like Spartan playing the Rubik, you don't really need to.
Luna is still available, of course. Anyone could pick Luna. There's oh my God, they got Jarex back on his Earth.
Jarex is back.
It's a great pick versus both the Marana and Rubik. He's good at disabling the Marana at all different stages. It gives them even more. It gives them that massive team fight potential with the Fatal Bonds, with Magnetize. It's like an okay dual lane. You can kind of pressure a bit with Legion Commander Earth Spirit just to have the Earth Spirit behind your Legion Commander, but it's not the greatest. And it doesn't give the Rubik any good spells to steal. Every single one of Earth Spirit's spells that you can steal are actually pretty terrible.
Right. This draft determines so much about your grand final.
Yep.
This could very well the next few bans and the next few picks could very well be the start, the catalyst to a 5th game.
Or
OG,
$1 million.
Imagine trying to draft
lifting
for
the trophy.
$500,000.
Yeah.
That's a big ask.
Yeah, one click of your mouse could put you closer to $500,000.
Yeah.
Of course, a reminder.
Extra,
$500,000 extra. The winner of this takes home a cool, crisp $1 million.
Yeah, I should have made that clear. Sorry.
Next pickup, I think this will probably be Skylarks. This is, I don't think you can argue that is his best hero.
He's stamped his name on that hero for
So
sure.
we saw it earlier today,
Skylark
and OG knew exactly what to do with it, though.
And it can be a bit hard to play the Nyx if you're playing like this hunting game, especially versus OG's lineup. They already have 2 heroes that can give healing, with Press the Attack and with Shadow Word, and they have this enormous teamfight potential. It's actually super difficult to match that with a Warlock or Spirit, so they could be going just for this type of split up and pick off potential with the Nyx Marana.
That's also a really good
approach.
arrow drawing.
It is.
All the artists.
Why do we have all
the artists are in the Dota community.
Mad fine.
Clever.
That's all right.
Very clever.
7 out of 5.
Yeah.
Oh. And good handwritings too. What's up with that? What's up with these artistic?
Oh, the Techies All Right sign, by the way. The guy said on Twitter that if we gave him a shout out, he'd come with a Techies All Right sign. I'm sorry, sir. It will be Riot today, I believe. No Techies. No Techies.
Agreed.
All right. So, what do we look for in the heroes yet to come?
Okay. Well, I mean,
OG,
surely
they got some team fight.
They've got both their supports already, so it's going to be the carry in the mid. So they want to find good matchups for there. The OD is still left in the pool, but it's not good versus the Nyx Assassin. Neither is the Invoker that we have seen Anna play. So Anna's heroes are actually a bit limited for him.
Okay. It's Invoker. So
okay,
I guess,
so they do pick the Invoker anyway.
Yeah.
Into a Nyx Assassin and into a Rubik Marana, who are... You don't build the BKB on Invoker, so these 3 heroes are all spell damage. They do pretty decent versus Invoker, but it gives them massive teamfight potential. It gives them Sunstrike to set up ganks with the Legion Commander to enhance that.
Now, surely Finem doesn't want to play puck against an Earth Spirit once again. Thanks.
Possibly not, but yeah, okay. So they go for the Lifestealer. This is really good pickup versus the Invoker versus the Earth Spirit, since we've said they already have a heavy amount of magical damage on the side of OG. Lifestealer with the built-in Rage, and it gives them the potential to kind of split up. You can tell that they're already not going for like the straight-up fight OG's lineup. They want to go for these pickoffs when they can around the map, because fighting into OG's lineup is pretty ridiculous once they get all their ultimates online.
Also, they've seen by now, I mean, all right, they won the last game, but they've seen that trying to fight into OG is tough, right?
Yes.
They need to try
Absolutely.
and find a way to get around the back, that flanking moves. That's what Finem had done up to this point. Whether they can do it again, I mean, I think I like the Nyx combo. I do like that with Marana as well. They use the Moonlit Shadow quite well. I think they use that well in the game, so we'll see. But so far, OG's looking scary.
Yeah, we have previously had, I think Winter in particular had some criticisms towards Invoker.
Yeah.
Do you follow that suit? Do you believe that Invoker isn't ideal, or does it just make sense when you see the other 3 names alongside him?
It can work a little bit different if you have the Earth Spirit sitting around you in the mid lane. You have a lot more
someone can take the pressure.
a lot more strength in the lane just because of the roaming Earth Spirit. But he does take some time. He's been suffering a bit at this tournament just because of that, his weaker laning pressure.
Okay, Terrorblade is the last band coming out from Finem. We are still lacking No-Till's hero, and we have seen him on the Terrorblade go a little bit ham. Juggernaut, however, is still in the pool. So that's the most straightforward one for that.
I think he's sick of playing Jug,
He
honestly.
probably
He's
would
just
be.
played it for 80 minutes. He'd be like, give me anything else.
Yep.
Need a Madara hero, unless... Or sorry, not Thug hero, sorry, yeah. Unless it's the Mirana. We have seen Thug play that in the past. True. There still is the Puck if they want to go for that, because they already have the Lifestealer too. So they have the Infest combination and vehicle for that. And it's great versus getting into the back line, stopping the Warlock initiation, and stopping the Earth Spirit combo, as well as the Invoker. So it could be the Puck, but then it does set them up into a 4 Protect 1 lineup. But they do have a Mirana, which can scale. The Nyx doesn't really take too much farm on the map, so it gives the other heroes potential to scale up into the later stages.
Have you been convinced by Puck on Thug?
Thug's Puck, he's like the only player to still play it.
Yep.
But I'm not sure if they want to go for that round. They still can. I know they really like it, so it's definitely a possibility that they can do. Trying to think of the other options they could have versus the Invoker still.
So the Invoker has limited their options. Is that what you're saying?
No, just like very good matchups versus
To take it,
yeah.
Yep.
Very good matchups versus the Invoker. It's Puck in a 1v1 versus Invoker is a great matchup for the Puck.
25 seconds and counting. It's so crazy when you remind yourself just how much this decision could influence the game. This last click of your mouse. The game.
Especially since OG have still got time to spring a big surprise here. That could be the thing.
There's not a lot of heroes left in the pool that Thug played this major. Sniper is one of them, but you don't want to play that.
Right down to the wire with this. 3
Oh my
seconds.
goodness.
Into the Earth Spirit. It's the
TA,
tempo assassin.
okay. This is an incredible matchup versus the Invoker. He does suffer a bit versus Earth Spirit because there's the ways to break his refraction with Magnetize, but it's another physical damage dealer. It gives him Roshan potential, and it gives him an Ancient Clear and a real building hitter. OG is lacking that building hitter. They do have split push from the Invoker, but okay, so they pick up the Sven to. That's kind of, I think that was a response to the TA and the Lifestealer, because now they have the Warcry to counteract the armor, and it gives them more scaling potential, and also an Ancient Farmer for themselves.
Are you guys ready? I'm not going to ask anything else. Are you ready?
Yep.
I don't know.
As
I'm
ready as I'll
actually
ever
not.
be.
I'm really not ready.
As ready
This
as
is-
I'll ever be.
All right. Well, we thought it could very well be ending. We did. We jumped into that game thinking we could be seeing OG lifting the trophy at this point, but Finem did overcome all odds and take us through an 80-minute adventure. And that adventure does continue. Will the Greeks seriously take us to a 5th? I'm sure some people are crossing their fingers and toes, but this game of Dota is about to begin. Boston, please make some noise. Please get hyped, because this is going to be awesome. The Boston Major will find a champion now, or perhaps in the 5th. Let's see what the Greeks can do, or if OG will seriously find 3. Let's get to your casters.
Thank you very much, Alex. I'm Odie Pixel. I'm here with Ben Malini Wu, and we're ready to take you through yet hopefully another epic between these two sides. Finem, OG going head to head again, Ben. We're seeing some interesting picks. Finem coming out with the Thug TA as that final pick. We know he's great on this hero. He's an incredibly flashy performer, but in response, OG with what feels like a very strong final pick, picking up that Sven against this Lifestealer TA duo.
I like OG's draft a little bit more. I think it's definitely just, they're picking most of the same thing, but I think the Nyx Assassin, once again, is going to be a crucial hero in this matchup. And I don't know, the crowd seems a little bit quieter than last game. I guess most of them
No, they can
wore
get
their
hype,
vocal
Ben.
cards out.
They've got some hype still in them. I mean, you've got to take a bit of a breather. We've just had that last, 80-minute absolute spectacle. So, you've got the cheers coming out. A lot of hype for Finem being able to provide a performance like that. OG as well, incredibly admirable in the play in that last game, nearly being able to win against Mega Creeps, and there he is, Spartan, smiles on his face. They're ready to go. The crowd love that. Have fun, boys, have fun indeed.
So let's see how they set up the early laning phase. The Lifestealer Legion Commander seems to be relatively even. I think it's actually probably Legion Commander favorite because she can sit in the lane pretty heavily. And of course with the added threat of Sunstrike, always makes OG's lanes a little bit stronger. They don't have that great setup for it. Sven's Stormbolt is like okay. Earth Spirit is also just like okay. Duel is really good, but that's well past the laning phase.
Okay, so we can see as well Finem trying to do something a bit sneaky here with this movement. Spartan, MNT, Skylark on their way down towards the bottom lane. They're obviously going to find both the Sven and the Warlock. a good telekinesis into the Chain Stone could result in first blood here if they can pull it off.
They don't want to go on No-Tail. They definitely want to go on Fly. Maybe No-Tail can save him with a point in level 1 Warcry. I would say it might actually be pretty good.
Here we go. Telekinesis bringing him back. If they don't get the initial stun, they do find Scarlet's impaled, but No-Tail behind the creeps. Indeed, isn't going to take an arrow.
The big downside of this move is that you can't actually creep block. So that's why the creep is so close to the tower. But at the same time, now the creep wave is actually much closer to the tower. Knowing that Skylark doesn't have a level 1 carry pace, get some easy damage with that. And let's see if Mirana can interrupt the pulling of Jerax. Jerax was actually able to pull the mid lane creep.
Yeah, we've seen him do this before on the Earth Spirit. Can't remember, I don't think it was quite this tournament, but definitely previously we've seen Jerax being able to pull off this maneuver, getting this cycle on the mid lane.
He missed the arrow on the creep. So, and he got his clarity cancelled. So not the best thing in the world for MNT.
It looks like he's still going to hang around this neighborhood, has eyes on Jerax, knows that it's likely that Jerax is going to look to put pressure onto Thug in the mid lane. Let's see, we'll be waiting with an arrow. Spartan coming across as well, and it's going to be Jerax with the aggressive lead in onto Thug, forcing him back. Now the side of Finem are ready to try and punish this. Anna already trying to head his way away from this, but Spartan's going to get the range for the telekinesis, but the combo's not there. Arrow from MNT is going to be off the mark, and in fact MNT could be in trouble with the roll forward and the Sun Strike. MNT brought down low, and that will be a first blood. Finem punished there for the lack of execution with that combo.
Yeah, that was a hard one to pull off. Also, the creep wave was just not in their favor. Radiant had so many more creeps than the Dire for that engagement.
First blood in the mid lane. Very nice for Anna, especially in this matchup where, as the panel mentioned, Thug could find himself having the edge with this hero-to-hero kind of comparison, TA versus Invoker. Now, Finem immediately looking for rotations yet again. Spartan's back towards the bottom lane, and maybe next time still hanging around just behind that his mid laner, just in case Thug needs assistance.
And Earth Spirit, that's actually his bottle that he picked up. I guess it's pretty nice when you don't have when you have a middle laner that doesn't really pick up the runes all that often, and when you pick up an early kill like that. And he's doing very well in terms of level. Let's see if he can get the jump on Madara.
Madara will have rage, so if he feels pressured, should have the chance to use it, but at the least just trying to slow down this Lifestealer's farm at the moment. Madara and S4 both finding pretty much even farm on this top lane, and what has been for the most part a 1v1, but Jerax looking to change that around again. Yeah, going in, forcing Madara to rage and back off. But this pressure now allowing S4 to potentially catch up and overtake the Lifestealer's farm.
Yeah, he might be under a little bit of pressure on his tower. They TP down bottom. Jerax rolls in with the stun.
And Spartan goes immediately for the TP out. Is the damage going to be quite there? No, it's not. Skylark holding back the aggression with a good stun, allowing Spartan to TP safely back to base.
I wonder how Madara is going to farm in the top lane. It's going to get rougher and rougher, I think, as S4 gets more and more items. He does have a poor man shield. Maybe next time, perhaps setting up for an arrow. Very tough versus Invoker in the daytime. And he has a Force Spirit to block, but it's not really positioned that well for him right now. And maybe next time we'll also stack Ancients for the TA. Something we haven't seen too much is stacking and farming from both of these two teams.
Bottom, nice juke there with the arrow. Jerax able to bottle himself up a haste rune. He's level 3. I mean, these rotations from Jerax already proving to be a little tricky for Finem to deal with. They've got to be scared of him. If he has that haste rune, if you're caught too far out on your lane, you'll be in a lot of trouble, and Finem realize that. They're going to send Thug forward as bait, and they do have the backup. They have the support ready to play against this lead-in if Jerax feels tempted to go for the initiation.
Jerax sitting right behind them.
Roll forward, catches onto Spartan. Spartan, they're actually focusing down Anna, dragging him back. They're surrounded, but Anna looks like he'll be able to walk off. Gets kicked back by Jerax, who kicks Anna back to safety. And now Jerax with the chase down, looking to kill off the Rubik Spawn. He'll attempt to try and deny himself to Ancients, and he's going to be able to do it.
Oof, that was a tough one to pull off. Fly also TP'd in. What a nice kickback by Jerax to save Anna, and they haven't connected on any of those arrows yet, not even the one on the neutral creep.
Skylark down bottom as well, able to get a nice bunch of XP there as he stole some of the last hits onto those creeps. They're going to make a go onto No-Tail. I know that he hasn't got teammates around. They're not going to fully commit here, as they won't offer any further lockdown. Mid lane makes a go onto Thug, flies there on the side with the Shadow Word. Thug in a lot of trouble. No way he can be saved as the Forge Spirit takes him out.
No points in Meld just yet. probably know that because it's not that common of a build anymore. But they don't have vision on that side. They have the sentry ward in the mid lane, but they placed an observer ward right as nighttime hit so that the TA couldn't actually scout it out. So I think they don't know that observer ward is there. And the sentry ward is probably going to expire by the time they actually make that movement up the hill.
On top lane as well, Ben. It's worth looking at the CS between the two. I mean, Matter is having a fantastic time here. He's 41 against the 27 of S4, and he's consistently harassing this Legion out of the lanes. Does this surprise you in this matchup?
Yeah, I think that most of the LCs that I've seen have done very, very well versus the Lifestealer. I guess maybe sometimes it's like a 2-on-2 situation.
Oh, MNC managed to fish for a nice arrow there. And again, top lane, S4's in trouble. So just enough for the heal and the movement speed. But this lane is being well and truly won by the Lifestealer, and immediately, yeah, S4 just pinging up top lane saying, I need backup. He can't deal with this Lifestealer on his own. He also getting a great start.
He is also level 6, so maybe he wants one of the supports to go up there and soak up XP while he looks for a dual gank. I think one on the next assassin might be very easy with the Sven setup. And let's see where S4 TPs to.
Yeah, with the phase boost pickup, that certainly seems likely.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll TP back top or not. Let's see. I think
he's going mid. He wants to make a play mid here with Jerax and Ana. We'll see if they find it.
They'd have to probably punt him back on the Earth Spear, or at the very least connect with the boulder.
And we'll find the initial connection. Good kickback into the duel here. Beautifully played by Jerax. The Sunstrike will seal the deal. They'll find the kill. Scarlet comes across there with the level 6 rotation. Finds one. They do get something in return. Can they get themselves anything more? They surround S4, looking towards Ana. They haven't quite got the damage unless Matter if he find this open wounds, and he does. They'll continue to chase. Ana has the open wounds slow, purged off him by S4. Good stuff from Scarlet, locks it down, but the arrow misses. It doesn't matter though, they get the kill. Good Q here from S4, coming in with the overwhelming watts. One more item with the spike carapace. Skylark plays his way out of this all. No tails. Oh, it looked like he nearly missed him there. He was going the wrong way, but he just wanted to go for the maximum range Stormhammer for flash and flare. No tail will find that kill.
S4 is really spot on with his Prestige attacks. And maybe next time, I think he's just having a lot of trouble connecting with the arrows. The Rubik setup it's not the easiest because it was a very low level Rubik and level 1 telekinesis, but they're not getting too much value out of this. So maybe he'll just choose to farm up a little bit more. He's level 5. And already diversifying a little bit with a 2-2-1 build. And Thug's already taking out a relatively big stack. This is an unexpected play from him because it's not usually where you expect a TA to be. Normally, he's doing the Ancients at this point. I just saw Jerax actually ping out on the Ancients, expecting the TA to be there.
I was going to say, talking about stacks, the Ancients is looking very tasty as well for this TA. But look at this, Skylark ready to make movements. With Matter inside him, and eyes onto Ana in the mid lane. They've got Jerax moving across. Jerax in a very vulnerable position. Skylark coming out with a surprise. Matter jumps forward, and they'll take down Jerax. The rotation is successful, and this is a combo that OG had to be very, very scared of.
And now they're pinging out on the stacks. Skylark informing his team that there is a 4 stack over there for them to take out. And Thug already died twice, so he definitely needs that catch up from him. And Nyx Assassin already make the game a little bit more difficult for OG. Where are they going to place the sentries? Do they want to spend involved in the fights? How much can they stack with their supports? All these questions probably running through their mind. Fly is level 6 though, so he can easily sit behind Ana and wait for a gank. But is there even any gank coming?
Yeah, Motel at the moment has just had to be farming up in the jungle. Doesn't want to return to lane because of that combination that we've seen catch out Jerax and such. Thug will now look to clear up this very, very large Ancient stack. And 9.5 minutes in. And nothing that OG can do about it. They're actually looking towards the mid lane. They're trying to make something happen onto MNT.
They could have perhaps smoked up there, but they don't have vision, so they don't exactly know where Thug is. He was farming that left side camp, so like maybe they thought he was still around that area. It's too difficult to guess. Arrow doesn't connect, just on the Force Spirit. No Tail blows his ultimate.
And looks like OG will get this tower with this push, so 10 minutes in. Good movement from OG as a team, they'll get the tower. There was an attempt for the deny there, but it's not going to happen against No-Tail as he takes the last touch. But able to finish his Ancient stack off safely though.
He thought about getting that boundary in, but he's scared. He's scared of even just dying to a Sunstrike, which is a very real possibility for him right now.
So what's the play here for Finem this game? I mean, you're obviously up against this
Get a
lineup
lot of
where,
picks with the best ball.
yeah, I mean, you need to. I mean, surely if this game starts to go on late, Anna with the Midas timing, No-Tail with the farm, late game it could become a bit of a nightmare for Finem to deal with.
Yeah, unless the TA gets like really, really big and the Invoker is kept under farmed, but it's always difficult to keep an Invoker under farmed. He already has his Midas, so he's already in pretty good shape, so this is what needs to happen constantly. Skylark and Madara just hooking up together, but they are also smoked up for
They're gonna dispel the
heroes.
smoke. Do they have detection? They'll drop a sentry out, but Skylark immediately moving nicely down out of the way of that sentry, so they
will
won't
use
find it.
2 sentries.
Yeah, nice plays here from Skylark.
They kind of know where he is.
Kind of wants to go back in by the looks of it. I mean, Jarek's coming around the sidelines. Skylark, he's out of the Vendetta, and they'll look to chase Jarek, but he immediately rolls away. Looks like he'll be all right with TP backer coming in as well. He won't be able to get that kill. They'll look for the courier though. Skylark nearly finding it. And Vendetta's still on cooldown for 10 seconds. He needs help.
They would love to be able to get this duel onto him, but he's just too far. Fly does not want to use his rock to slow him down. It's just a Nixus, and he will just walk away.
Gets himself indeed back to safety. So Finem avoiding a very nasty potential smoke gank. Getting out safely themselves. Net worth-wise still, as we can see, Thug TA at the top of the board. And also interesting to note as well, this game, No-Tail on his Fen, going for the armlet build. Do you like this? Is this just preferable for the amount of fights that we expect early on?
I think they expect him to be taking a lot of damage, and I think the extra armor from that and the extra HP is going to help him a lot versus Lifestealer. Like, Lifestealer has trouble killing heroes when they're at very, very low HP because Beast is not that effective anymore. And this way he can just be up all in the face all the time, and they don't have to wait for him to HOD farm and stack where he might be vulnerable to a Nyx Assassin.
Jarek's coming across, is going to get telekinesis by Spartan, dragged up to the high ground, stun onto No-Tail from Skylark, holds him back. Jarek's rolling forward and dropping yet another sentry. The vision game is fantastic here from OG. They'll get the duel off, take down the Nyx Assassin. Jarek sees him there, moves forward with the magnetized Spartan and Madara ticking down low. Madara will be able to rage and get away, but the arrow from MNT holds Jarek's underneath the tower. So Finem find a kill in return.
That's actually not that bad for them, considering that Rock was blown for that engagement. And Finem can continue to play greedily now that they know that 2 minutes and OG probably do not want to fight during this time. But now that they have the Blink Dagger on LC, they can get more picks. And that plus Sunstrike, I think on probably any hero aside from the Lifestealer is going to be a guaranteed kill. Maybe not the TA either if she has Refraction up, but that's where our Spirit comes in. So comparing these two heroes' net worth, very, very even. Last hits, Thug has been neutering a lot more. Ana been choosing to get a little bit more involved with 100% kill participation. A lot of it thanks to the Sunstrike.
Absolutely, I mean,
Skylark's ready again.
yeah, he wants to find something here with Matter in tow, and he's making a beeline straight towards the bottom. Ana, he needs to go straight back up to the high ground, and he will do. He's already back. Oh no, he's coming back out. He's coming back out. He's coming outside the side of this. Skylark, does he go for this? He's tempted. They'll jump out and they'll find it. Have they got the detection? No, they haven't. Ana is going to be fine. Jarex kicks him away. Now it's Skylark that's in trouble. Jarex and Ana surrounding, and there'll be a TP across from S4. It says, come and give me that tasty plus damage, and they'll get it. 30 damage now on the Legion, 14 minutes in.
And Nyx Assassin kind of prepared to die already, did buy a Staff of Wizardry. We don't see this too often from Nyx Assassin. I'm not sure how much gold he had, whether or not he had 1,000 and 1,200, but he still could be a Scepter first. Yules, I also think, is going to be pretty good for him. Dispel the silence with our Spirit.
Yeah.
It's just not the typical builder that you see. You don't see Yules first very commonly. Maybe if you're versus a Silencer.
Ancient Stacks coming up again here for No-Tail. Jarek's keeping good guard of them. As we saw, Thug did just pick up his Deso. So this is going to be something that OG have to be very wary about when the TA starts to run at them. But at the moment, it looks like Thug pretty much set on just continuing to farm. I guess if you're a TA, you really want to get both the Blink and the Deso before starting to go for kills.
You want to get Roche. That's what you want to do. Like, TA, it just destroys Roche. If she can actually get in there and find some time. But yeah, generally you want your Blink and Deso before you actually start fighting. So now they control the pit a little bit. And the T1 down on the side of OG. It looks like they're grouped up, ready to smoke up. Fly does have Rock. They know it's around that time. The TA has been ready. And I don't see any of them trying to pop the smoke. Spartan's out alone. He could just get dueled up and immediately die.
But Finem did scan it. They know that this movement's coming in.
Oh, what a Moonlight Shadow that popped that smoke. Now they know exactly where Radiant is. This Roshan is way too low to leave alone. 25% HP. And now the game of chicken continues. And, oh, they're going to smoke around. At Finem on the south side, Nyx Assassin with...
Ooh, and now there was a scan there, but it just came out off in time, so they don't actually get the scan connection. Finem could get a good movement. No-Tail's heading straight towards them. That's going to be the jump in immediately with the stun. Madara comes out as well, looking for the backliners, but Fly gets the chance to drop the rock down. No-Tail falling low. Can they finish him off with the dash? They've got enough damage by the looks of it. No-Tail's down. And now they're looking for more potentially. The Magnetize is doing quite a bit here to them. Boulder Smash from Jerix as well, holding them back. They'll lose Spartan. Good stun though from the high ground from Skylark holding them. They're looking for the bigger kills. They're trying to get Ana and S4. S4 trying to juke it out in the tree up, and then melt damage from Thug is too much. And OG, they found Spartan, but they've lost both S4 and okay, they've found a second. A nice little Sunstrike play from Ana to help attempt to even the fight off.
Easy regeneration rune.
It's 2 supports down, and Finem managed to take down 2 massive cores and open up the map to go for Roshan. In fact, Skylark, with this Vendetta, he's
he could just at least block the rolling boulder if he expects a play from Jerax.
And there's Roshan gone. Skylark's trying to go for this, but there's a sentry down, and Jerax knows. So immediately rolls away, won't get caught out. But
what's very worrisome is that the Sven still died despite going for this heavy armor build. He went for double armor items in the armlet and the helmet dominator, and now he can obviously keep up his farm with the HOD, but he just died very easily to the Life Stealer and the TA. I think he got arrowed too.
Money into the bank for No-Tail here with this stack, but because of the way that last fight went and the money that Thug was able to pick off, he has that blink complete. So we can expect to see flashier and flashier players come out from the TA.
As well as Ana, who is top of the net worth right now with the Midas, the BOTs, Scepter coming out very, very shortly, and BKB probably in good order for the TA at some point in this game.
OG actually holding back, maybe prepared for Finem to try and make a bit of a movement across it.
They don't have Brock yet, so they don't really want to fight, and at the same time, Finem infested yet again. And OG, they don't have any sentry wards down, but they are all huddled close to their T1 tower. And on top of that, he's got an Ogre Frost Mage for No-Tail, so now he's sitting at 26 armor without the Warcry. I think this is actually going to be a big deal if TA can't burst people down, and they're going to be slowed because of that Frost armor.
Skylark to make his way across. The sentry ward placement though, very good for OG. Will make it very hard for Skylark to find the angle that he needs. Sentry down, but no obs in the area, so still going undiscovered. No-Tail, okay! Oh, he jumps back, looking for the backline, he's trying to get S4, making sure there's no jump in. Matter of focus is No-Tail, and No-Tail is kind of been split apart from the rest of his team because of this play, and that's the Sven down. Finem there, beautifully breaking up OG.
Wow, Thug, he just walked up there. He's like, I know where everyone else is. That's because of the angle that the Sven came from. He doesn't have a point dagger, so when he just walks down from the Ancients, he expects the team to be sitting behind him. What a read from Thug.
Oh, no. That's four. Able to blink away just in time there. Good reactions. Finem getting a very early tier 2 here by the looks of it.
Oh, and Warcry stolen. That's nice. Level 4 Warcry.
Yeah, they'll take that.
Very good against the duel. And Ana on the top side will keep split pushing, but no Nyx Assassin is over there. Ana can turn around these teamfights very easily.
He can, especially once he's got that Aghanims done. And he's only about, 1,000 gold away from that.
That's up to the Nyx Assassin to control him, but it's going to be extremely difficult with no Blink Dagger up. Life Stealer, he doesn't need the Dezo nor the Blightstone because TA is the one that's going to be dishing out the majority of the physical damage and will apply that Desolator debuff. So I wonder what's next for him. He could go... not sure. AC is not that bad of an item if he just wants to tank up. SNY I also think is pretty darn good. Looks like he bought a Hyperstun, so AC is probably the most likely option. Immediate smoke.
Ooh. OG did smoke up themselves, and it looked like it was a defensive smoke, ready to catch this sort of movement from Finem, but their smoke's now worn off. They've backed off. And there'll be a scan, and Finem's going to know that they're in the neighborhood. Skylark leading the way. Can he get that jump? Fly would be a perfect target. Make sure they can take him out of the fight before the rock comes out. They get the vision. Telekinesis lifting him up. He's out. There's no trust of Chaotic offering, and Finem are looking for more. Moving on to No-Tail. Box the Godstrike starts to force them back, but indeed this stolen war cry doing so much here for the side of Finem. OG just can't fight back into it though. Jumps forward, looks towards No-Tail, but they'll lose the TA. He's got the edge. It's a good duel from S4. Ends matter. Thug, can he play his way out of this one? They've got to be careful here, Finem. Forcing him away. Magnetite still sticking down. The jump forward from S4 is held back by the Spike Carapace on Skylark. MNT DP's away. Skylark should be able to escape as well.
Okay, that ice armor is very problematic. I think Sven would have died had that ice armor not been on him. I mean, there's not really too many ways to counter it. I guess you can counter it by like infesting the creep, or getting Diffusal Blade, or getting HOD of your own. But right now, like Sven does a lot of damage, but he doesn't have that much mobility, but it doesn't seem like they're able to kite him that well in the team fights because of Press the Attack. Press the Attack just lets Sven have so much uptime with his God String. So I'm not really sure how they address this issue.
And is this the kind of the best kind of play for OG at this moment? Just allow Ana to split the lanes out and just wait for Finem to come to them, because they know that with Finim's draft, with their lineup, it's Finem that are more reliant on finding kills in this stage of the game.
Yeah, I think going later into the game is going to be beneficial for OG. Like Duel plus Sunstrike is very solid at getting kills regardless of whether or not there's BKBs, and then Invoker is going to be a king of team fights once it goes later on into the game and he gets his Octarine.
Again, with this freshly placed ward, Finim's going to know what's up around the Radiant Ancients. Jarrett's rolling forward, seeing if he can get a connection, and Finem.
Oh, Next Assassin, he is waiting for Ana. He does have a 4-step. Let's see how good Ana's reactions are.
Can he play into this one?
He's going to have to 4-step in and then stun and then pop out, and I think it's about time.
Yep, force forward, goes for the stun, but oh no, he misses the stun!
And, dude, he is so fast.
Oh, he pays for that mistake, Skylark, and Madara could be in trouble as well. Ray's still on cooldown for 5 seconds, TP as well. So with the Moonlight Shadow, he will be saved.
Ana is so fast with that, though. It's incredible reflexes from him to be able to pop Ghost Walk like that. And, yeah, seems like Next Assassin does need a dust.
Thug has got his BKB, though. The money's there.
Yeah, with this he can kind of run at the Warlock. The problem is BKB won't stop him from the Legion Commander, nor will it stop the Rock. So they need to be able to kill the Warlock before the Rock comes out. And a lot of it is due to the Nyx.
Madara's actually going to get jumped upon him. Maybe a bit of a bait. Spartan moves forward, trying to help out the Lifestealer. He's going to live throughout the duel. Now looks to back up and run. Ana boxes over on top of the Chaotic Offering Golem. Looks towards Spartan. Spartan goes for the TP out. He's going to make it. Madara, can he survive here? Skylark's in the neighborhood, but the jump force from the S4 is there. Now chop down the Lifestealer.
I like the BOT on the Rock. It's very hard to stop. And it's pretty far away from the T1 tower. Finem thought that it was a pretty good fight for them to take, but they're losing more and more ground as OG's 5-man continues to oppress Finem. Roshan is up soon. I think that's going to be a bit of a break for Finem. They need more items. And they need the Mirana to also continue to get her Ags. 0 and 2, a little bit
close.
slow on that because she's missed a lot of arrows this game, but if she gets it around, 26, 27, that's not going to be so bad for her team.
At around that same time, though, as well, we should expect to see No-Tail finish off his BKB.
Yeah, No-Tail he is really strong in his team fights. And like as a life stealer, you can't just, if you run away from the Sven, you're not going to be doing any damage at all, because you're going to have to use your rage like super early on in the fight because of the Earth Spirit Silence and because of the Invoker. So like at some point he's going to have to deal with this Sven, but like No-Tail's build is so good at dealing with the life steal and the TA. He is more than willing to man fight.
And this is going to be very, very hard for Finem to fight into and bring down these cores, as you mentioned. They do need these further item pickups. I mean, for Thug, what do you feel that's going to be? What is the damage item that he'd look to go for this game? Daedalus.
Or Bloodthorn. I've seen Bloodthorn a decent amount. It's okay at killing the Invoker, but I think the Nyx Assassin also needs more items. Because like without a blink, it's very unreliable, and he like keeps dying in these fights because he isn't able to escape. I think the blink will allow him to continue to get more items as well as get better initiations. Then of course you want a Scepter, just like last game. Constant mana burns on the Invoker makes his life hell.
OG now with the smoke ready to go.
Spartan is ready to pop it. They ping him out.
And this could be one of those times that catches Finem out, because if they're keeping track of the chaotic offering, they'll know it's not there, and they're going to make this move immediately in with the duel, catching out the TA and Thugs down. They're going to lose more potentially. A good tornado to clip Skylark. They'll surround Spartan, who turns around with a stolen tornado, but No-Tail with the BKB continues to chase down. In fact, Spartan, can he live? He's been dusted up. The Shadow Word ticking him down low, holds back. The Sven with the telekinesis tries his best, but he still ends up ticking down to that Shadow Word damage.
And 3 heroes dead. They cannot stop the Blink duel into the Infernal combo. And
Madara could be in trouble, rolled in upon.
No duel yet.
He's hiding.
Uh-oh, that range creep is working against him.
Oh no, not the range creep. Oh, yep. Goodbye. Nothing to see here. Oh, there we have. Jump forward. Madara continues to try and run. 5 seconds until the duel comes back off cooldown. Tries to slow down S4 with the open wounds. Good silence, good stun. MNT trying to come across and help with the duel into the sun strikes there. He's out. Chaotic offerings drop. LGOG, they're not done. They want to look for more here. MNT slowed down by the ice wall. They'll find themselves the Mirana kill, and now Skylark's in trouble as well. Jump forward for Jerax. Oh, the smash! It hits both of them. Jerax there, enabling OG to get the team wipe. Bringing out Finem to the floor.
OG spilling blood in the water as they push down this T2 at Finem. They've just lost team fight after team fight after team fight. Their heavy cores aren't itemized to deal with the duel. And Ana is just continuing to amass items.
And Thug jump forward. Will put the BKB. Jarek's forced to back off. No-Tail trying to go to the sun strike. Ooh, he's got the refraction back up.
Wow, that was close.
That was, I think there was a millisecond in it. But they will potentially lose the racks here at Finem. OG coming in with a very strong push. Melee racks down in the mid lane, 27 minutes in. OG off to a flying start here in this game, 18-9.
27-minute racks.
Let's see, that's going to be a good arrow timing. And with the Starstorm, should be able to find this. Oh, yep, he will. No chance for a Shadow Word.
They know they have to take Roche right now. Their timeline is getting cut short because of how many heroes they've killed on the side of Finem. And yeah, Invoker is getting really nasty. So
I mean, this was just a beautiful play from Jerax, really, wasn't it? Just setup after setup. The rock comes through, and you know, just this kick as well. We'll see in a minute when it not only clips one, but it clips Spartan as well. Bam, straight across, hits both targets, setting up for that final finishing kill. Beautiful stuff, really.
Yeah, that was dirty.
I do get the Roshan though. At Finem, find the space. Aegis is on Thug.
I really like the No-Tails build in this series. Like first the Ags on the Luna, and then this game the like very heavy armor because they don't have that much diversification in their damage. Now that the Mirana has Scepter, he has to be worried a little bit, but I don't know. He has such a strong cast behind him that I don't really think he's worried to dying about magic damage. The point is that he can stand up against a Life Stealer. He doesn't have to back away during the rage. And it's part of the reason why Finem banned out Terrorblade, naturally high armor hero, but luckily for OG, there are plenty of other substitutes.
And a lot of substitutes. The No-Tail is very comfortable in playing. Ooh, Jerax nearly catching out MNT there on that bottom lane. Roll slightly off angle. And it will just be the push from Finem. They tried to finish off this tier 1 earlier. They'll go for it now. And we'll see if they get any trouble with it. OG, they do have Chaotic Offering back online. Skylark's already there preparing for potential TP through. And we'll spot out S4 making a movement up towards the lane. S4's got to be careful how close he comes because a good stun will allow Thug to jump in, close the gap and take the Legion Commander out of the fight. Anna's trying to come forward though with the setup, dropping the ice wall. Will get stunned up. Good Chaotic Offering though onto 3. The Meteor as well. He's going to bring them down with the BKB out from Thug. Starts to force Anna back. He has to be careful though. No-Tail coming around on the backlines, chopping down Spartan. Thug will blink away. Madara in trouble. The Boulder Smash keeping him at the range of No-Tail's sword. Double kill for No-Tail, and it may not be over yet. Skylark in trouble, No-Tail jumps forward, triple kill for the Sven. No-Tail, one of the star performers really of today in both this series and EG, the matchup that OG had against them.
Yeah, now he can go for more utility items as he's already shored up his armor. And yeah, you saw the BKB TA just have to run him. She has Aegis, mind you, but they know that this Sven's almost impossible to kill. They have to kite him. They probably need more Force Staffs, I guess maybe one of the Morana, even before a Blink Dagger, would also really help them out. And unfortunately for Spartan, he's in the area where he really wants a Blink Dagger, but I don't know if he's going to be able to afford one by the time that OG comes storming down. Rubik's poor.
He really is. He's suffering this game. Still chance and time to pick it back up. There's a Blink Dagger done on maybe next time. So
they're waiting.
They're waiting for that jump forward. Maybe next time seems to be a little wiser to that. There's Notel continuing to just steal the camps from Adfinim's side of the map, making sure that he remains high up on that net worth board. Still rivaled by Thug's TA, who is slightly ahead of Notel. Anna, of course, at the top with the Midas and the split pushing farm that he's been able to get.
And Anna's also gone for a more offensive build. More defensive build with the plate mail and the Lincoln Sphere. Octarine's a very offensive build, but he already has to deal with the Rage on the Lifestealer and the BKB on the TA, as well as the Next Assassin, so I think it's okay that he goes for this sort of build. More armor, so he doesn't get two-shot by the TA.
That could happen with that Daedalus complete on Thug. It's going to get very, very messy if Thug gets his hands on some of the weaker backliners of OG. Now, and indeed, an interesting build from Notel. He's going to pick up the Orchid, so working towards
the Bloodthorn.
The Bloodthorn.
Bloodthorn's incredibly good versus the Lifestealer and the Nyx Assassin. You don't have to pop your BKB when you go on the Nyx if you have the Bloodthorn. And Lifestealer has no way to get out of silence. Like if he pops his Rage a little bit late, he is dead. And then they'll just drop the rock and things will be history from there. So it's so hard for Adfinum to take a fight though. Warlock is safeguarding everyone else, and then press the attack. Stops their Infest Bomb combo. And Warcry also, I think, just stops most of their damage.
Yeah, they've got so many tools to stop what Adfinum are trying to do in these fights. As you've mentioned, just the itemization, the drafting, has made total sense here from OG here in this game 4. And Adfinum still, I need to find an answer to it. Double damage is picked up on Thug. And with this Daedalus, the push could get a little messy. And with the tower standing as it is, it looks like OG will let this one go. So Adfinum should be able to pick this one up with no trouble at all. Skylark already seeing if any stragglers come in to look for a sort of a defense. But Notel, Jarax keeping themselves safe and sound up on the high ground.
Yeah, they know where he is.
Thug wants to move in for more here. He's actually going to walk straight up into them. Takes a silence and a stun to the face. Skylark will try and attempt to help him out there with the stun. Is it going to clip on 21? Jerax now jumps forward with the Magnetize. MNT with the Starstone bringing the Earth Spirit down low. The Spike Carapace for holding back Jerax. And Finem now on the retreat. The Dust will find maybe next time. He will be the one beaten down upon. So OG, take 2.
That's kind of one of those moments where you have like 20 seconds left on Aegis and you really want to use it, but it's just not a good idea because of the Invoker. Invoker can stall you out so long, and you don't want to pop your BKB going in there, or they'll just crush your entire team as you retreat. Gem picked up on Jerax. They're very comfortable with the pace, the way it's going, with the pace of the game. And I think they're just super confident in each and every team fight. As long as the Warlock doesn't die very early on, they're perfectly okay.
And with the smoke, they may just find themselves a kill. Skylark's coming across. They have got the vision on Jerax. Immediate jump in with the duel. Skylark is going to go down. Can they get themselves anything more? Good silence from Notel onto the lifesteal to make sure there's no chance for a rage from Madara. The chaotic offering stun. Chaining him up as well. Focusing on the backlines though with Spartan. They managed to cut down onto the Warlock. Maybe a buyback from Skylark. They're looking to try and turn this one around, but the jump in there onto Thug. Thug taken down as well. He's out for 80 seconds. Spartan is also going to suffer the price as Notel picking yet again up another triple kill.
It's one of those games where you just feel so useless as a Lifestealer. Any target you open wounds gets pressed the attack, and they just have so much armor on the Sven that it's one of the, like, you just run away while you're magic immune. That's really sad. You can't do any damage.
Oh my goodness, Notel playing so beautifully aggressive, jumping forward, forcing Adfinum back away from this advance. As OG start to hero down onto the tier 3. Oh, okay. Jerax there with Anna getting the kill on Spartan. They'll clean up a second set of racks 34 minutes in.
Spartan thought he was safe. He dodged the Sunstrike and didn't see the other 2 spells coming.
My goodness, looks like some mercy may be given from OG for now as they will retreat. He might even find a kill off the back of it, and MNT has to be so careful. The blink and a silence from N0tail could spell disaster. It's now a completed Bloodthorn, immediately getting out. Looks like he should be fine. As you're saying, that fly's got dust. JK, he tries to TP out, but here comes S4. Fight me, he says. Oh, this is kind of seeming to be an ode back to game 1 and 2, where it turned out to be a little bit of the OG show, Ben.
Definitely so. And at Finem, they have to get, I suppose, next Aegis is one of their few chances of winning this game and coming back from this huge deficit that they burrowed themselves into. And Nyx Assassin needs far more items. He's had that 4th staff forever, and I don't think they're going to win this late without the help of an Ags. And items aren't flowing out of plenty. No Bounty Hunter on their side, no Midases, no stacks. Very little going their way.
Aussie, meanwhile, for the side of OG, big pickups. Yule's done on Jerax, Octarine, complete on Ana, who's been having an absolutely incredible game on the Invoker. Perfect farm, perfect presence in this team fights.
They've been relying way too much on the Nyx Assassin ganks. Like, he's been running around with the lifesteal inside him for a large part of the game. But OG, they're just sticking to the game plan that they were in game number 1 and 2. Just stick together with Gem.
So hard for Finem to find that lead in, as you mentioned, with that combo. OG potentially preparing to fight again. Chaotic Offerings back up. They could meet each other in the river. Spartan comes across, but N0tail immediately jumps in. Then gets forced back. Spartan surrounded by OG. Chopped down. N0tail will be held back by an arrow, so unlikely that OG find anything more out of this. But again, it's just OG moving where they want on the map, and Finem struggling to do anything about it.
Maybe you can start here. Skylark going for a play on
He does have dust. And they get this kill in time, jumping out with Madara. The Lincolns will be popped, but there's backup. Jerax comes forward, and Madara just immediately rages and TP's out. He realizes he's not getting this kill. Jerax rolling forward, Thug tries to jump forward, but Jerax immediately blinks back out of return. And then just forward with the duel. The Sun Strike, the backup from N0tail. Thug's out. They'll get Skylark as well. OG moving up to the high ground and ready to try and claim Mega Creeps at 37 minutes in.
My God, Jerax on this Earth Spirit.
You don't let that boy have Earth Spirit if you want to win games. Chaotic Offering slayed down. Madara in trouble. He'll infest, keeping himself alive for the time being. They'll run, they'll try and hide. Madara caught out again by Jerax. Jumps forward with the boulder smash. And GG is called. Your champions are OG. N0tail, it's like they've won 3 majors. It's an incredible feat. Finem giving us a real, absolute cracker of a final series. Game 3 in particular will go down as one of the best games of Dota played at a live LAN event in a while. But OG, I mean, these guys are absolutely amazing. They're incredible, Ben.
Yeah, and S4 shifted to the off lane. Ana, a relatively new mid on the scene, but the core team Fly and N0tail have just seen countless championships. How do they keep doing it?
It's incredible what they do as well with these kind of newer players. You know, bringing Ana in, a player that a lot of people doubted. But I think if anything, this performance from Ana in the finals goes to show that this man is one of the best mids in the game at the moment. And it's all thanks to the perfect backup of his team. And Jerax's play in that last game gives us a solid, rocky reminder why teams need to be so scared of that kid getting his hands on the Earth Spirit.
And the spirit of Finem will live on in the crowd, and I hope to see a lot more from them in the future. Very promising start.
Absolutely. And here we have it. OG, your Boston Major champions, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the champions of the Boston Major, OG.
There we have it, Ben. Absolutely incredible. I mean, these guys, they deserved it more than anyone, really, to get this far, to give that sort of a performance. I mean, obviously we had that crazy game 3, but you've got to remember, 3 of the 4 games, they were nothing less than stomps, really, Ben. Well, these guys are on another level, and no one was able to really meet it at this major.
No, I don't think that many people were really preparing for them, too. They kind of slipped by under the radar, but here they are once again.
Absolutely.
More eyes need to be turned on to them.
I think that's going to be the last time that happens, Ben. I'm sure no one is going to underrate OG after a performance like that. Winning the major in such flair and style, giving us an incredible final series against Finem, taking a $1 million. We'll be able to bring Alex and the panel in. Alex, that's a fair bit of money.
Yes, that's certainly a chunk of change. $1 million goes to OG, and Finem taking home 500,000. Man, that was a grand finals to remember, Owen. I'm sure you and Merlini are going to be dreaming about Dota tonight.
Absolutely. I think we'll be dreaming about it for the rest of our lives, if we weren't already, Alex.
Man, oh man. They changed 3 players, and they returned to defend their throne, and they still lift the trophy.
There's something magic about No-Tail and Fly. This duo, it's got to be the best duo in Dota 2, I feel, competitively. There's something about these two that can take players under their wing and just lead them to the top each and every time.
Just retaining their dynasty after what most would consider a crippling blow. You lose 3 and come back even stronger. That's what Fly said he was going to do, and it does seem like he's achieved that goal, Owen.
He has, and I wouldn't be surprised if he continues to achieve even more. I mean, I hope that this team stays together. I see no reason why they wouldn't, and we could very well see this lineup win another major, Alex, at this rate.
Well, thank you very much, Owen and Merlini. The green dream is real at the Boston Major. OG write history. They take 3, a 3rd major title under the OG name. It's certainly something that no one will forget in a hurry. History written. And joining me just to witness that history, alongside me I have Fogged, Shiva and Pyrian Flax. Jump in.
What a series. I want to say what a game, but the best game was game 3.
What a series.
But what a series, and what dominant performance from OG. Yes, we have underrated them throughout this tournament, I think, with all eyes being on Virtus.pro and EG. Mm-hmm. OG just coming in, just swoops us all away and just dominates from the get-go, and it's amazing that they have been able to do this for the 3rd time, Fog.
Yeah.
Only dropping 2 games here at the main stage. 1 versus WG Union, 1 versus Finem. Mm-hmm. Huge props to them.
And 2 teams
incredibly well
that
done.
came in as severe underdogs. Finem found themselves in the grand finals. We'll be talking more about this later, because now we have to capture the excitement, don't we? OG are on stage. They've lifted the trophy for a 3rd time. Fly, No-Tail, and Co. are standing by with slacks.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Wang, 3-time major champions out. They won Boston. They're in. They won. It's OG. Welcome, guys. Give it up for him. No-Tail, the boy, the flower, the legend. Hello. Woo. Still shaking?
Yeah, I'm very shaky right now.
So, I mean, you guys redid your entire team, and you did it again. You 2 are the only survivors, and that's your 3rd major. How? How is this possible? How have you done it?
I mean, it's definitely thanks to these 3. No way, and of course Coach Seb. But I mean, we just play like some. We're oldies, you know. We just play some rusty Dota, and then we get carried.
All right. Will anyone ever break your record, Fly? You have coached 3 of the same teams that won the same match. Well, no, you were the captain. I'm freaking out. Is anyone ever gonna break it?
Yeah, us.
And do another one? Attaboy! Attaboy! Hello, sir. Your first competitive game was 6 months ago, and you've won a major, right?
Yep.
What do you have to say to guys that hope to stand in your shoes, guys that are new to the scene and want to be where you're at?
Just do it.
Just do it. All right. As for his voice is gone, he asked me not to ask you a question. I'm sorry. So I'll ask you just a quick one then, buddy. How does it feel to be a god? A literal living Dota god?
Feels good, man.
Boy! All right, some would call you the MVP. You were standing on this stage before, you got 2nd, and now this time, baby, you got 1st. How does it feel?
I just want to thank Sebastian, our coach. I think he's the greatest guy of this team, actually, and I really want to clap to him. He's amazing. And I actually don't know how I feel. I just feel whatever.
All right, sounds good. The boys just feel, for one more time, guys, give it up to probably one of the best teams to ever grace Dota. Your major champions yet again, Team OG. Thank you, guys.
The crowd on their feet, and it is oh so justified. OG have done it, and I don't know how many times we're going to have to remind you just what an adventure it has been. This Boston Major, it started with OG looking seamless in the group stage. They then proceed to make short work of the round of 16. Drop one game until that grand final. Finem may have made them sweat, but OG have made this Boston Major rather special for themselves. And I mean, Jerax, Tim again.
Tim!
I've done that twice now.
I thought you did it on purpose right away, too.
There's a reason for that. I'll explain it later. Anyway, Ted. Hi.
My name's Tim. I don't know who you're talking to.
Brain capacity is minimal, but
That's fine.
the fact that Jerax, the first words out of his mouth, it words towards his coach.
Yeah, Seb is very well regarded. Obviously, he's just one of those people that he is a very nice guy, for one thing. He's got a great personality. He's always positive. He knows a hell of a lot about Dota. He's passionate about it. He works with the team. He's a great guy. He really is. So having someone like that in the organization, I mean, they must just be such a great team to work with. You know, they're not. There's no difficult characters. There's no one awkward. They're all incredibly talented at what they do, and they just keep doing it. And No Tail and Fly, you cannot overstate how big an impact they've had on Dota, because they've been around forever and they just keep winning things. It's incredible.
It's crazy that two people can just command a team like that and have, pick the right people for the right jobs and have that people management, if you will, to be able to take a team like that and in like 6 months, less than 6 months, take the team and take a finals at a stage like this, the Boston Major. It is an incredible feat.
Fogged. They lost a game like that. 80 minutes of Dota. OG conceded in the end. And to bounce back like that, that takes something rather special.
Yeah, I think they played super well. I think their draft allowed them to too. They picked a Sven, which may have been a bit greedy, but overall, I think Jerax's movement in the early game was divine, and Anna's performance on this Invoker was something to watch. If you want to learn how to play Invoker, watch that game, because his spell usage was on point. The rotations from Jerax kind of enabled him in a way, but he was perfect. His reactions as well, you could see, I think maybe a bit of nerves may have gotten into the factor for Skylar a couple times with those stuns, but he was instant on those ghost walks in multiple instances that saved his life from potential deaths and potentially changing this entire result of the game. So big props to Anna, big props to Jerax for this one. They really pulled it out and just went next level.
Yeah, just all the players just performed at the highest level, and let's not forget Finem, they did really well this major as well. They went above and beyond in terms of expectations. Falling to OG in the grand finals, sure, they would have rather have won, but a great accomplishment nonetheless.
Yeah, they should be extremely happy with them, with their performance, with what they've achieved. But we can take nothing away from what OG have achieved. There's Sebastian actually lifting the trophy, which was definitely well deserved. So, I mean, honestly, OG have just done it. They're a dynasty team, absolutely.
They all played it so damn well too. Like we keep talking about Jerax. Okay, he was definitely the shining star. He definitely made these super flashy plays, these clutch plays. But No Tail was just super consistent. His decision makings in the game was very good too. This game, his item decision, I questioned the armlet. It was very good just because of the bonus armor versus the mass physical damage from Finem. He even picks up the Dominator, gets an Ogre creep, so that ice armor as well. He just had very, very consistent plays. Same thing with S4. Maybe a little bit more flashy from S4, but consistency.
I honestly thought when they went Invoker and Sven that it was going to be too greedy a lineup. I mean, I thought that Finem would be all up over them, taking advantage of that, shrinking the map, shrinking their farm. But as it was, I don't know how they were able to find the farm. They dodged a lot of ganks. They just played brilliantly. That's what it took.
Let's very swiftly bring up that scoreboard to remind you some of the big names and the big plays. One of the quotes I'm going to take away from this game was, "Don't give Jerax Earth Spirit if you want to win."
Do not do that under any circumstances. He is a god on that hero.
Let's look at the assists.
Look at those assists. It's absurd.
But you can see how much it, the way that they draft just enables all their players. They play in such unison as a group. Everybody is pretty high up there on the kills and assists, so they just worked so well together, and it showed. They showed such determination, and you could tell they really wanted to win. No Tail and Fly, these two guys, legends.
I mean, you look at Skylark and Spartan in this game. In the games that they lost, they were the guys who suffered the most in terms of deaths. They just couldn't get anything going. In the games where they did well, it seemed like hardly any of them died. You know, it was just completely different scoreboard.
And look at that story.
Yeah, he was brilliant.
He was brilliant. So we were on the verge of still selecting Jarex. He has played amazingly throughout the entire series, but this game, his Invoker, deserved in this spot as MVP. People have doubted him in the past, but him being here on the stage really shows that he deserves to shine here.
He dies just once in the game that gets them lifting the trophy. The Eagle Song, indeed. It was a very, very graceful victory for Anna. I love that Slack says, hey, you played your first competitive game 6 months ago and you're lifting the trophy. He's just numb. He's like, where am I? Who am I? I've just got $1 million major under my belt. I mean, that's awesome. Right, you know what's coming up. One final of one of your favorite segments. Let's check over with Purge and see how OG did it.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's a pretty good game, pretty good series, a lot of fun. A couple quick clips to look at. This is one of the first times that Finem had a great team fight gank, some separation, no good fatal bonds here, and most importantly, they separated No Tail and kept killing him, but that eventually led him to start grabbing ice armor, troll creeps, and he really just stacked up the survivability, which really mattered in some of those other fights. This one, for example, this is a little gank that Skylark attempted. He missed the stun. I saw this happen maybe 3 times throughout the whole game where Anna was super fast at going invis, and little gank avoidance things and ganks kill returns is just a huge way to get back in the game. And then finally, in the last engagement, Thug got initiated on no BKB pop, and these are the kind of timings that Finem needed to hit, but they kept being only 1 kill, maybe 2 kills for them, and always more kills in return. So OG just, from the start to the end, had amazing control of every team fight. They completely deserved the win.
There's no doubt about it. A deserved win, and I don't think anyone is complaining that we got to see a 4th in the series. Finem putting up a truly spectacular game. One we'll remember for a long time, and talking of memories, it's been a long major. And of course, it's been a pleasure to serve alongside you guys. Ted, you had a good time here, and I'm not going to do the accent. Boston?
I have. Boston was a great town for a major. I thought everybody, the crowd was super hyped.
Are they still here?
Yeah, of course they're still here too. It was a great event, and Alex, I think that I'm sure all of us want to say, and all the guys that have worked with you on the panel, welcome to Dota 2. You fitted right in, baby, and I think you did a fantastic job, and I hope to see you again in another event soon.
That's very kind of you. Thank you. Shiva.
The makeup is preventing you from blushing, but I know you are.
A little bit.
This event has been absolutely amazing. OG taking it is just the cherry on top there. Crowd is phenomenal. The shouts, the screams. We're down below is where we watch the games normally. We could hear you so loud, especially during that 3rd game here in the finals. And I think just getting that 3rd game here from the Boston Major, that will be a game. Like, remember the TI3 finals, 5th game? Yeah, this 3rd game here today is one of them to be maybe even top that, but definitely be on par with that game specifically.
Fogged. A desk like this, hanging out, watching some Dota. You must have had a good time.
I had a great time. Really enjoyed spending time next to you. I've been closest to you as well. You know, I've been like 3 feet away. Everybody else is all far away over there.
Are you trying to steal him for yourself?
Yes,
he's ours.
Exactly.
I'll fight you for him later.
But I'm very thankful. Really enjoyed working with you and really enjoyed the crowd. Thank you guys. It's been really a pleasure, and just we got some great games.
Absolutely. Great Dota has been played today. We're not going to forget it. Thank you. A final thank you to the Wang Theatre and everyone involved in making this production happen. PGL, another fantastic major experience. Yeah. Truly has. And actually, you know what? Word on the street is PGL has one final gift. One final thank you. It's not just from PGL. I'm not going to say any more, but as we do say goodbye from the Boston Major, we had our twists and turns. Vocal cords indeed were broken during that grand final. We've seen signs made, we've seen champions crowned, and now we say goodbye with one final treat. Enjoy.